Because of the decrease in work hours and the decrease in hours wasted on housework, the amount of leisure time available to people has increased by 8 hours a week just since the 1960s. For women, that gain started to level off in the mid-1990s, and the reason is that women today spend more time with their children. In fact, a single working mother today spends more time with her children than a married stay-at-home mom did in the 1950s. So forget your stereotypes from Father Knows Best and leave it to Beaver. We also spend less of our paycheck on necessities. A century ago, we had to forfeit 60% of our paycheck to food, clothing, and shelter. Today, it's less than a third. Has any of this made us any happier? There's a cliche that money can't buy happiness, but that is only partially true, because if you plot a nation's self-rated happiness against its GDP per capita, there is a strong relationship. This is a logarithmic axis, so in reality, the relationship bends over, and it's stronger for poor countries escaping poverty than for rich countries getting still richer. It holds not only in comparisons between countries, as you can see from the scatter of points across this graph, but also within countries, as you can see by the slope of the arrow piercing each dot. This predicts that as countries get richer, its people should get happier, and indeed that appears to be true. The World Values Survey has found that in 86% of the countries for which they have data on happiness over the decades, the level of happiness has increased. Interestingly, the United States is not one of them, and happiness has pretty much stagnated in the United States for 70 years. Has all this progress come at the expense of the environment? Well, in the past it certainly has, but that is starting to turn a corner as societies get richer and more technologically sophisticated. They start to care about pollution, and they have the technology in pollution control devices to do something about it. Take the United States, for an example. Since the formation of the Environmental Protection Agency in 1970, the population of the U.S. has increased by 40%. GDP has increased by a factor of 2.5. Americans drive twice as many miles per year, but the level of the 5 major air pollutants have come down by 60%. And I'm sure that similar graphs would hold for Canada, probably even more dramatic. Deforestation in temperate regions has come to an end as forests are no longer cleared for farmland. Indeed, it's gone into reverse as abandoned farms are reclaimed by expanding deciduous forests. This is not true in the tropical world, where deforestation alarmingly continues, but the tropical world has turned a corner, and the peak occurred about 40 years ago and has come down. Since 1970, the world has shipped more than twice as much oil by sea, but has had 85% fewer oil spills. And the proportion of the Earth's surface that's protected against economic exploitation has doubled just since 1990, from 8% to 15%. The number of marine areas, that is a proportion of the world's water surface that is protected, has also doubled from 6% to 12%. Well, I hope to have convinced you that progress is a real phenomenon. It's not a matter of seeing the glass half full or half empty. It's a matter of accurately seeing how much water there is in the glass.